What's up, racing fans? Welcome back to another edition of Racing Recap, where I go over the weekend highlights from the horse racing world. I'm going to be recapping January 18th and 19th, past Saturday and Sunday. We saw some big stakes racing at the fairgrounds, and also go over the Pegasus World Cup. Drew the card yesterday at Gulfstream Park. I'll give you my initial reactions. Going to have a show coming up here on the Each and Every Stride YouTube channel. Also, the Southwest for the Kentucky Derby preps will be going on as well. So I'll be talking about that at Oaklawn Park. Let's go over some exciting racing and reaction and results here from the weekend. So let me know who you liked and what was your biggest highlight too, as well. So we saw Hit Show, a 5-year-old that actually I bet originally in the Kentucky Derby back in 2023 when I was there in person. Hit Show actually finished 5th place in the Kentucky Derby. So good race, considering 20 horses. And Brad Cox has really managed this horse carefully, especially in the 4-year-old season. Now a 5-year-old, Hit Show rallied in dramatic fashion off the pace as the 6-5 favorite. So the betting public had this one right and won the Louisiana Stakes, Grade 3 at Fairgrounds, January 18th on Saturday. We also saw a new face on the, more of this scene here in Louisiana was we saw Skinner actually was part of this field. So that was the Native Diver Stakes winner on the West Coast. And, I thought that Skinner actually made a nice middle move. And we saw Hit Show kind of follow that up. Now, Hit Show was in the back. I mean, now Hit Show is the winner of 8 races and 16 starts. And I just thought that it was a way in the back. Now, Florent Geroux actually saved all the ground in the beginning. But how about the end? I mean, this horse was basically in the parking lot, and there was a lot of comments on that. Just proved to be much the best horse there. Now I think this son of Candy Ride, Hit Show, really maybe has earned himself. And I think he's kind of convinced Brad Cox and the connections. I think he's deserving of a grade one hopefully some kind of grade one opportunity here in 2025. I see quotes here in the media as Brad Cox has always felt highly of this horse. He could run really on any surface, and he's very professional. We saw Track Phantom, another horse that actually ran in the Kentucky Derby, set the pace there early, ran a good race, started to fade weight late there. And then we saw the Japanese bred come up for second place there. So for a fading Track Phantom, it was a tough customer, but Hit Show at the end went past them all and splashed to the wire and paid $4.60. Just an honest type horse that knows his job. So let's talk about the Lecomte Stakes. I put in a play here is that Brad Cox was not done. So Brad Cox with the late double. I'm going to be talking about my play that I put together here for you guys. So this was what I was a little concerned with is that Admiral Dennis did scratch. So he did scratch out of this race. Today it looks like he's going to be racing today at the fairgrounds in the allowance race. I included number 4, Magnitude. Now, Magnitude was in between horses trying to make a middle move, ended up off the board. So number 7 also, I don't know if he really appreciated the off going. These horses were a little closer than expected. But also, Innovator was all alone on the lead. So Innovator, I was a little surprised by that. They kind of just gave this horse the lead. We see it that Innovator actually ran a really strong race, held on for third, and Built, the morning line favorite, finished second. I thought Built ran a really solid race as well, kind of re-rallied, in the inside. We saw that, that was a dimension that I wasn't sure Built was going to do. Remember, I mentioned that I thought Built was either going to win or be off the board. The fact that Built could re-rally a little bit on the inside was a big thing. But we saw Disco Time. The winner here, I had the number 11 in my exacta, but did not have Built. So pretty formful finish there. But now it looks like, Disco Time and Built each now have 20 Kentucky Derby points. So they're there with Citizen Bull and also Coal Battle to really round out the top right there. I know it's still early in the preps, but these points and the structures are going higher too. So, the top 5 finishers here in the Lecomte earned 20-10-6-4-2 as the Kentucky Derby scale right there. So, Disco Time, I just thought, what an incredible run. We saw another one way off the pace here. I just think that, in the end, just went past them all. I think the ceiling is not even close to being touched for this horse. Another speed figure. Now, listen, they did say that this race was 2 seconds slower than the hit show race just prior. There could be a few factors with that one. I mean, your older males in the race before, and also the offgoing. These young horses, these 3-year-olds, really don't have the experience of running in this kind of slop. So I just thought that it was a great performance there. And let's look at Disco Time. I'm going to be watching him in the future. We had a Golden Afternoon finished 4th, and Maximum Promise finished 5th. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. Let's go over the Pegasus field. It was a reaction that I thought some interesting post-draw developments. So let's look at this talented field here. We got Mixto, number 1, who last ran 3rd in that Native Diver Stakes that I was mentioning that Skinner won. So he's 10-1 morning line. Saudi Crown was 1st in the Tenacious Stakes. This horse is always so dangerous with his speed for Brad Cox. Now, Brad Cox has had quite the weekend with the late daily double there at the fairgrounds. Can he keep it going for this huge $3 million Pegasus? 9-2 morning line on Saudi Crown. New Grange actually finished 5th in the San Diego Handicap for Phil D'Amato. 20-1 morning line. So we got White Barrio, the very familiar face here. I've actually noticed that it's been in the comments is that White Barrow's kind of struggled to really breaking from the gate last couple of starts. That was the case in the second place finish in the Mr. Prospector. I think this horse will be, he's very professional. He's raced all the races. I think he's going to be hopefully much tighter and breaking from the gate smoother. 3-1 second choice here in the Pegasus. Krupe for Todd Pletcher and Luis Saez, 15-1 morning line, was 4th in the Clark last time out. Stronghold. Horse I've always liked, honest speed front type horse. Finished 2nd in the Grade 1 Malibu. And I think another step forward, you never know. It's speed is dangerous sometimes here at Gulfstream. So you got to see how this pace sets up. I'm going to be coming out with a show here on the Each and Every Stride YouTube channel, just going over handicapping. And obviously I'll give you my picks at the end. But I haven't really dug in and crunched the numbers quite yet on this one. But 10-1 morning line for Stronghold. Steel Sunshine for Bobby DeBona. Finished 3rd in the Harlan's Holiday, Grade 3. This is a long shot, 30-1. We got Mystic Dan. Well, actually, before Mystic Dan, we got Vitality. So Vitality here, as I look over, but we got a even longer shot, 50-1 was in the same Harlan's Holiday, finished 6th. Now Mystic Dan, we got the Kentucky Derby winner. I know there was the experiment with the Malibu, finished 6th. I think maybe Kenny McPeak was just thinking, let's get a kind of a sprint into this horse, a 6 furlong. Now we're going to go back out to the preferred distance. Interested to see what the Kentucky Derby winner does. 8-1 morning line here in the Pegasus. Skippy Longstocking, honest horse here for Safi Joseph. He's won the Charlestown Classic multiple times. This is the one where this horse actually finished 6th in the Breeders' Cup in the Dirt Mile, 10-1. So this is what I want to talk to you guys about. Is Locked. The number 11 is the morning line favorite. I think post-draw really hurts, though. I mean, 5-2. You don't want to be in that position, especially around the first turn in the Pegasus. Going to be interesting to see how this horse gets bet on the board, though. And I'm going to have to put my handicapping goggles on and really see the son of Gunrunner. Let's see how he runs here for Todd Pletcher and Johnny Velasquez. And rounding out the field is the filly, Power Squeeze. 3rd in the Rapport. I just thought 30-1 for Jorge Delgado. Be cool to see if this filly runs. I'm not sure if the connections are going to go through with it, especially with this post. But as it gets closer here during the week, we're going to be recapping going over the Pegasus here for sure. Thank you so much for tuning in to this quick analysis here on Racing Recap. We just go over the racing highlights for the weekend. We're also just getting started here on the Each and Every Stride YouTube channel. It's been less than 2 months. I'm close to 100 subscribers. Thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate that. Honestly, all the kind words and the retweets. So hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Let's keep it moving. Let's have a great racing week. It's Pegasus week in the Southwest. So looking forward to some great racing ahead. Let's go. Let's cash, everybody.